your left subclavian vein, this big one here, your left common carotid, this one coming up here, and your right brachiocephalic trunk coming up here. Okay? Or sometimes it's called the brachiocephalic trunk. Sometimes they don't put left or right. So, or it only goes to the right side, so it's going to be your right brachiocephalic trunk, but they may or may not put the right on the name. So then we're going to go up, and we have our left subclavian coming out here. Our right and then our right brachiocephalic trunk goes into our right subclavian and our right common carotid. Okay, and then here they cut off the right common carotid so you can't see any further. But on this side with our left common carotid, which again branches straight off from the aorta, you have your left internal carotid coming here and your left external carotid coming out here. All right, everybody good? Good. Now here in the back, we have two other arteries. So you have your left vertebral artery and your right vertebral artery. The left and right vertebral arteries then form your basilar artery, your left internal carotid artery, your right internal carotid artery, which you can't see here, and your basilar artery form your circle of Willis or your cerebral arterial circle. It's known by either name, but I think you just need a circle of Willis for the purposes of the test. Anybody have any questions on that so far? Good to go? All right. These right here on your ribs, these are going to be your intercostal arteries because they go in between the ribs, so that's why it's called intercostal ribs. Let's do the arm arteries. So this is going to be your left arm. So we have our left subclavian vein. As subclavian means along your collarbone, so that's why it's called subclavian. It's your clavicle. When you get to the armpit area, another name for your armpit is the axilla. So you have your left axillary artery, and then it becomes the left brachial artery. Then it turns into your two radial and ulnar arteries. The one that's on the outside is going to be your left radial artery because it radiates outward, kind of. Your left ulnar artery, it's U, so it's close to you, so it's on the inside edge. And then both of those will come down and form both your superficial palmar arch and your deep palmar arch for your palm. So we're good on the left arm. Let's go into the abdominal aorta. So it's really hard to see here, but the first branch right here is going to be your celiac trunk. Excuse me. And so your celiac trunk is going to have your splenic artery, which is, your spleen is supposed to be here. Somebody would drop the model, I think. And then I have trouble with this one too. Your common hepatic artery, which goes towards your liver, and then you have your hepatic artery proper somewhere in there. And then you also have your left gastric artery, which is, you can't see it here because you don't have the stomach, but you also have a left gastric artery coming off your celiac trunk. And then your common hepatic artery goes into other arteries in your liver, which I can show you in the liver model later if you want to see that. Then your next branches off your abdominal aorta are going to be your left and right renal arteries. So those go to your kidneys, obviously. Then over here you have your superior mesenteric artery, which goes towards the right side of your intestinal area, right? And then you have your inferior mesenteric artery, which goes towards the left side of your intestinal area. All right, everybody good? As we keep going down, you have your left common iliac artery.
I'm sorry, so just see the superior and just see the inferior mesenteric.
Correct. So the superior, you know it's superior because it's going towards your right side.
Okay.
The inferior is going towards your left side.
Okay.
So that's how you would tell in that case. Then you have your left common iliac artery and your right common iliac artery. Your left external iliac artery, which then goes towards your leg. Your left internal iliac artery, which stays in your groin area. Same thing here, right external iliac, right internal iliac. Let's go ahead and move to the leg. So here you have your right external iliac artery. That then becomes your, let me make sure I'm not forgetting any, is it different?
I think your femoral.
Yeah, so this comes to your right femoral artery up in your thigh and hamstring area because it runs along your femur bone. This one, I guess, would be the best correlate for your for your left deep femoral artery because it goes deeper into your leg. You're going to keep going down. As you cross your knee, it becomes your right popliteal artery because your knee pops, so it's going to be your popliteal artery. And then here, it's kind of hard to tell, but this one that's coming out in front is going to be your anterior tibial artery, your left anterior tibial artery. Near your ankle bone, it becomes your left dorsalis pedis artery, and that will form your dorsal arch. So just call your dorsal arch for your arteries. Make sense? In the backside here, you see this little shorter one. We're going to call this your pinky toe, okay? Your pinky toe artery, I guess, whatever it is. So your fibular artery runs towards your pinky toe, so on the outside of your leg, and your posterior tibial artery is going to run on the inside of your leg. So we're going to call this your fibular artery and your posterior tibial artery. And that's going to form your plantar arch here. Everybody good? All right. So I think I ran through all the arteries. Does anyone have any questions before I move on? All right. Let's do your veins real quick. So here we have our pulmonary trunk, which then goes to our lungs in the back. Here we have our superior vena cava. We have our left brachiocephalic vein, our right brachiocephalic vein. Here we have our right internal jugular vein and our right external jugular vein. Remember, there's no common jugular vein. That doesn't exist. We have common carotids, but not common jugulars. Here on this side, we have our left internal jugular vein and our left external jugular vein. You don't really have to worry about how those interact with the head. That's not really important.
So don't we have vertebral veins as well? Do we see it
You
in this model?
do. To be honest, I'm not sure if you see them in this model, but they're just not super.
Wait, so what are these two again?
I'm sorry?
What are these two?
These two, this is your left vertebral artery and your right vertebral artery. And then they form your basilar artery, which is part of your circle of Willis. Makes sense? Left and right vertebral veins, I wouldn't really worry about that on this model at least. So your left brachiocephalic vein, you have your left internal jugular, your left external jugular vein, and your left subclavian vein. On this side, you have your right internal jugular vein, right external jugular vein, and right subclavian vein. So the same thing happens again. Near your armpit area becomes your right axillary vein. And then you have giant split, which we'll call it this right now. So on the outside, coming to the outside, this long vein is going to be your right cephalic vein. On the inner end, that's going to be the right basilic vein. As far as like how diagrams go and how naming conventions go, some people will call like this part here the axillary vein as well, or they'll call it the brachial vein before it branches off. Don't really worry about that too much if you see it on a diagram, because we'll clearly demonstrate like, oh, this is basilic, this is cephalic, this is what we want you to see. So those both come superficially on the arm. So your cephalic and your basilic vein then come down here and form the superficial venous palmar arch. All right. This cross, this V right here, is going to be your right median cubital vein. That's where nurses most commonly will draw blood from you. And this vein that comes in the middle here is going to be your right median antebrachial vein. All right. Now the vein that goes closer to the bone is going to be your right brachial vein here in the back, and then the same thing. We have the right radial vein on the outside and the right ulnar vein on the inside, and this forms your deep palmar venous arch. All right. Everybody good? If we go in here, sorry. Also, when I'm talking about veins, I just as for my own needs, I just said they branch out. But remember, everything's actually branching into the bigger vein and going into the superior inferior vena cava. Just like I just think of it this way because it's easier that way. With our inferior vena cava, I'm not very good at this one, so I'll try my best to show this. Up in here, it's really hard to see, but you're gonna have your hepatic vein. So your hepatic portal vein is also along your liver somewhere in there. It'd be too hard to see, so I wouldn't show you this on this model. That liver model is better to see it on. But you have your splenic veins coming in there. You have your superior mesenteric veins coming in here, and your inferior mesenteric veins coming in here, and that all goes into your hepatic portal vein. And then your hepatic vein will connect into your inferior vena cava and then go into your heart. You also have your left and right renal veins, which go into your inferior vena cava. You have your left and right common iliac veins, so your left external iliac vein, your left internal iliac vein, your right external iliac vein, your right internal iliac vein. If you come down into the right leg, we have this long vein here is going to be your right great saphenous vein. Well, this is screwed up. So yeah, sorry, we have your right great saphenous vein. This is going to be your right femoral vein. I guess this would be your right deep femoral vein, but don't really worry about that too much. And then on these, obviously it's very twisted, so it's hard to tell, but this would be your right small saphenous vein. Your right small saphenous vein and your right great saphenous vein form your dorsal venous arch in your foot, so on the top surface. And then over here, it's again kind of hard to see, but we'll just call one of these the anterior tibial vein. Your right anterior tibial vein, your right posterior tibial vein will form your plantar venous arch in your foot, and then this. I'm sorry, I messed that up. Your anterior tibial vein and your fibular vein will form your plantar arch, and this one would be your posterior tibial vein. All right, so everybody good?
Where is the dorsal pedis in arteries? Like, how can you see it in this model?
You don't have a dorsal pedis vein. Oh,
No,
I'm sorry,
in
dorsal pedis.
arteries,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
So it'd be. So this is your left anterior tibial artery.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the ankle area, so like this bend here before it goes to your foot, that's where it's the dorsalis pedis artery. All right. Anyone have any questions? Did I mess up on anything? I hope not.
And then for-
Oh, sorry, I forgot one more thing. On this side. So this large vein here is going to be your azygos vein on your. Sorry, do you want to wait?
No.
Okay. So this one on the left side here, because this is your left. This is your right. This is your left. This one over here is going to be your azygos vein on the right side, and this is going to be your hemiazygos vein. Your hemiazygos vein drains into your. Sorry? Okay.
We like ran out of memory, so we're like.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I know it's a lot, but also like.
No,
Wait,
like
so
literal
this would
memory.
be azygos and this would be homozygous?
Correct. So this is your azygos vein.
Uh-huh.
This is your hemiazygos vein.
How do you know which one you wish to go? Like beside right?
So hemiazygos is on the left, azygos is on the right.
Okay, that's the only one
that's
you
literally
remember.
it. Yeah, that's literally
left.
it.
And then
Where they are drained.
I'm sorry? Yes.
Azygos
So your
drains to, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so your hemiazygos vein. Also, this is another note. Like some diagrams will call the bottom part of this the hemiazygos vein, and the top part of this is the accessory hemiazygos vein. For the purpose of this class, you can just call it all the hemiazygos vein. But in case you see it on a diagram, just don't be confused. Your hemiazygos vein drains into your azygos vein. Sometimes it also drains into your left brachiocephalic vein. So I think you go either way on that. If they ask you a question about that.
homozygous is the one go both into your pulmonary. Whoa. Wait.
Not quite. So your
brachiocephalic.
hemiazygos will go into your azygos vein, and then that will
Go to the
it will go into your azygos vein and or your left brachiocephalic vein,
Uh-huh.
and then your azygos vein will drain into the superior vena cava,
Okay. Gotcha.
and then your left brachiocephalic vein will also drain into your superior vena cava.
And then for so the one above the arteries that above